Oh my god, they're the Gleek of the week.
Welcome to Glee on the Rocks, the podcast where we talk about a TV show that we loved and hated and are rewatching because we love and hate ourselves. I am Emily.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm B.
And I forgot to write down what our usual intro is, and I had to make something up at the last second.
Perfect.
I mean, I think that worked pretty well. Like, you can't argue the accuracy of that.
Yeah, no, I hit record and I was like, shit. Welcome back to the pod. We're going to date this episode. It's middle of summer and it is fucking hot. And we're going to talk about Christmas.
Yay, it's Christmas.
Because this...
I mean, if I had the option to skip forward the rest of 2020, I would.
God.
So,
absolutely.
I don't even want to know what happens in between. Let's just skip it. I'm too anxious.
It doesn't matter.
Let's just be in the middle of whatever comes next.
And if you happen to be listening to this episode back, like, I feel like you're not going to need too much context. Besides, this is summer of 2020.
Yeah. Yes, this is the summer of 2020.
Yesterday, I loaded Twitter and saw that for the first time ever, the National Weather Service had to issue a warning for a fire tornado. And I was just like,
a fire NATO?
A fire tornado. First time in history they've had to issue a weather service warning for one.
Wow.
A tornado made from fire.
We're number one.
Yeah.
Every month of 2020 brings new horrors.
Maybe the fire tornado will eat the murder hornets, though. Like, maybe it'll kill their nest and we can take 2 off the list at once.
I mean, that would be okay, but on the other hand, do we really want to know what's going to replace it?
No, but now I'm just thinking of flaming murder hornets.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be good.
True, that they would just modify themselves.
Yeah,
kind of like how ants are like immune to microwaves. The hornets would be immune to the fire. They would just carry it with them.
It would make them stronger.
I was gonna say, speaking of things you can't kill with microwaves, Glee.
Yeah,
it would die.
So
technically dead, but it's still alive in all the terrifying ways.
It's Frankenstein's monster just slowly resurrecting with nuts and bolts and patched together pieces. The body of a good show, the head of a bullshit show.
Yeah, that's it.
So this is season 3, episode 9, Extraordinary Merry Christmas, which is a title I will always hate.
So much.
And when we get to talking about the song Extraordinary Merry Christmas, maybe B can complain more accurately, but the phrasing of these words in a song,
I hate it so much.
It's angering.
It's a horrible song.
Yeah.
Anyways,
in case you have forgotten this episode, which I'm sorry if you have, because it's kind of fun, this is the summary. After sectionals, the Trouble Tones are part of the New Directions once again. Meanwhile, Sue attempts to recruit homeless shelter volunteers for Christmas, hoping to get the Glee Club. That's a sentence that really doesn't make any sense. They happily agree, but when the Glee Club is asked to create a holiday special for the local PBS station with Artie directing, Sue is in dismay when they decline. Rory struggles as it is his first Christmas without his family, and Rachel asks Finn for too much. This episode was directed by Matty Fresh himself and written by Marty Noxon, who is a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer person.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Like, I think I knew it at the time, but
for some reason, Marty Noxon deigned to write for Glee.
Wow.
She wrote 2 episodes, actually. This one and Choke.
I don't remember. Oh, no, I do remember what that one is.
That was
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it is Christmas once again, which means that we have a placement of time in Glee. It is now December-ish, which I guess means that sectionals happens before December. So
right,
now
and then
they have
regionals is in the spring.
yeah. Okay, I guess that makes some sense.
Don't you know you're not supposed to look too closely at the timeline?
I honestly try really hard not to.
Yeah, it's just like continuity on every level. Like they're just assuming that if you're watching this show, you don't care that much.
You don't care. Yeah, it did air December 13th, so it is designed to have aired around the holidays, which a lot of TV shows do, so we can't hate on that. Christmas episodes are often just fucking amazing.
They really are, yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite X-Files episode is a Christmas episode that has nothing. The Ghost Who Stole Christmas.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah. I will watch that any day of the week, any month of the year. So in our other podcast where I talk about the X-Files,
tune in.
Oh my God, that would take up so much time. Yes, so this episode opens with Mercedes, for once, singing All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it's lovely.
I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true.
It's a really good opening. Like
it is.
It's just refreshing to see an episode opening with a musical number by anyone but Rachel. But
yeah, and they don't often straight up open an episode with a full musical number.
You're right, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what makes it kind of like, I don't know if impactful is the right word, but like nice when it happens.
It is nice, and it's nice that it's Mercedes getting this big song all to herself.
Yeah, it's good that like Mercedes got to actually open an episode with a number that was like solidly hers.
Yeah, and looking real cute too.
Yeah.
So cute, and everybody looks so cute. Blaine had the little like velvet blazer on.
Okay, was that even a blazer? Because I put down that it was a smoking jacket.
Actually, it might have been. I don't know.
I was like, where does a
17-year-old
boy in Ohio get a velvet smoking jacket? Cooper, I'm imagining.
Brooks Brothers.
I was only a little bit miffed that Kurt and Blaine didn't get to like dance around the tree together as much, but
yeah, every couple got a moment except for them. Always salty. This is a theme in season 3.
It's a theme in this episode too, which we will get to. Because we got a big chunk of time that we should probably dedicate saving the rage. But yeah, everyone, it's cute, and it's only interrupted by Mr. Schuster in the end, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, more episodes should have opened like this. The very few episodes I can think of start with a song, and they're always good. Whitney Houston comes to mind. The Whitney Houston tribute. Yeah, I think any episode that starts with a song is always fun. I think the Michael Jackson tribute started with a song. I feel like that was underused. They almost always end with a song, but it's rare that they start with a song. So
yeah. Which is funny for a musical show. You'd want to like start with a bang.
Right? Yeah.
But I guess it is one of those where they save it so we enjoy it more.
It's true.
Because we'd hate it
all the time.
Otherwise.
We would just hate it.
Like, God damn it, another fucking song.
Now, if they're a group number 2, I feel like that's a caveat, because there's definitely one that opens with Rachel singing Jason Mraz's I Won't Give Up, and fuck that. I've mentioned that at least once before on the pod, and I know what episode that's in, and I'm gonna mention it like 3 more times before.
That's fine.
It's gonna be a game now. How many times can I mention how much I hate I Won't Give Up?
I understand. I have those feels about other things.
Yeah.
So this is when Sue comes in to ask the Glee Club rather nicely, I thought, that she would like them to sing at the homeless shelter where she volunteers at to help distract her from the emotions of Christmas without her sister.
Yeah.
And I appreciate anytime Sue is humanized without it being a episode of the week. Like, remember guys, Sue has feelings. This felt a little more realistic that she might hide that she goes and volunteers at a homeless shelter.
This episode did like make me realize though, well, I don't mind how they used Sue in it. There are like other characters that it would have made more sense for them to like be planning something for like a homeless shelter. Like it could have been Emma's thing or something. But the episode wouldn't have been nearly as good without Sue's humor. That was like a backbone through the episode.
Yes.
Or like, and not the full on humor, but I don't know, just scenes where she's sitting there calling every character a different nickname.
Yes, there were some good Sue nicknames in here. It was, I wrote down Wheels, Porcelain, and Other Gay.
Yeah, and then Young Burt Reynolds.
Yes, followed by Stumbles, Gelfling, and Young Burt Reynolds, which I was... And I remember the fandom pointing out that Blaine was quite happy with his nickname.
He really
so
was.
excited about Young
This is
Burt
the
Reynolds.
only... Yeah, Young Burt Reynolds. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. Part of me was like, is that just because Ryan Murphy doesn't want to call Darren a name? Because this is like right in the heat of Darren's rise on the Murphy scale. So not that I'm always like, well, that's only happening because Ryan Murphy's got it hard up, but you know, for Sue to point that out, I was like, would she really call him that? But I don't care because it's funny.
Yeah. I mean, this episode, as most Christmas episodes do, required some suspension of disbelief.
Oh,
in terms of how characters would act, including Sue.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because in the end, some of these people are real shitty up until the end.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of kick right off with Rachel demanding a number of presents from her high school unemployed boyfriend, Finn.
Holy crap, I'm dating Kim Kardashian.
Rachel is in fact Jewish. And, I mean,
which
Hanukkah and Christmas are not the same thing.
No one mentions that she is Jewish until the last 30 seconds of the episode. No one mentions the word Hanukkah until the last 30 seconds of the show.
Nope, not at all. And, you know, Hanukkah and Christmas are not synonymous. They don't have the same meaning. But, you know, would she even celebrate Christmas? Or is it just that she wants to demand presents? And if that's the thing, like, Jesus, has she been this materialistic in other episodes?
I feel like this one's the strongest.
It's a character trait that definitely
comes and goes.
Yeah, along with her veganism.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, the veganism returned here because she didn't like the gift of a pig.
That feeds an entire family or something? Like,
yeah. So my initial reaction to the gift of the pig is like, you know, I tend to sponsor like an animal at a rescue for a year, you know, like I do that because I find those kind of things more meaningful to me. So if someone was like, here, I sponsored a pig that will help a family who is in need eat, I don't think I'd be pissed about it. I'd be like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're right. I don't need I don't need earrings. That's nice.
I also couldn't tell if the show was trying to make it seem like, oh, Finn got an awful present, or oh, Rachel is awful for how she's reacting. Like,
I couldn't tell either.
I think the second one, just because she like changes her mind later on, but then again, Finn also gives her a different present later on. So, but it's not one of the things from her list, I don't think, because they mentioned like spray tan and teeth whitening, which I thought was fucking hilarious and probably a dig at Leah Michelle. Question mark?
She does throw out a line of like, well, where's my bling? So there is some, but it's not like the gold star necklace that would almost be more like, yeah, that's her whole thing is the gold star necklace that she wore in the first season.
Right. Oh yeah, remember her gold star thing? We haven't talked about that since season 1.
I remember.
Glee doesn't, so
that's why we're here, because we remember. But yeah, I don't know that made sense to me as a character trait out just because it's a Christmas episode, that she was suddenly a materialistic nightmare.
Right, because I guess that's the moral of the episode, is that like you don't need material things. You should give back and do, you know, it's more about the thought than the thing, because that kind of runs through all the storylines.
Who were they trying to prove that to? I think we've known that for quite some time, that Christmas isn't about the gifts, but about the time you spend with others. Like, no, it's about materialism. Let's not be.
Yeah, let's not.
I don't.
Capitalism's still a thing.
It didn't feel like that was a Glee thing. It felt like maybe there was another point Glee could have tried to make, other than capitalism bad.
Well, I guess the last year, what Tina brings it up, like, oh, last year we were the island of misfit toys. So
Mhm.
I guess it's like, don't worry, the Glee Club is on. It feels like they're on top of the world because they won sectionals, but they're still good people.
They haven't gotten
Yeah.
big heads about it.
Don't
Like
worry,
we know
check.
they're going to be losers later again. We know how this works.
That's right. Got to bring them right back down.
I did appreciate the reference to Artie's legs
Yes.
only
Yes.
for like a day.
Bless the writer, because like they did bring in a lot of things that like they remembered that Sue's sister died. They remembered the last year's Christmas episode. Amazing.
I mean, it's almost like when you have a writer who has worked on a long-running show that ties together storylines and thematic elements throughout the series arc. It's weird how
weird. Like, I mean, that's a theory. That's a theory.
Do you know Marty Noxon would have had to have watched Glee to pull some of those references, unless someone else in the writer's room was like, I don't know how many people were in the Glee's writer room. Like, there could have been a writer's assistant who was like, hey, there was this Christmas episode last year where Artie could walk.
No, I think I want to believe that they were just a big fan of Glee.
Then Marty was just like, no, I'm just gonna watch them all over again.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll go with that. That's nice.
That's always what I think when I see these like one-off or two-off writers. I'm like, oh my God, they're the Gleek of the week.
Oh my God, the Gleek of the week. Maybe that's the title of the episode, is Marty Noxon Gleek of the week.
I like it.
That won't screw up the algorithm at all.
I'm gonna say, I just did a quick look through Marty Noxon's Twitter account. She watched Glee.
Yes.
There you go.
She very regularly tweeted about Glee episodes a couple of years before she was writing on it.
So what I'm getting is we have to add to our indices who is the Gleek of the week.
It's just always Marty Noxon.
It's always Marty Noxon.
Do we just at her when we post this, like, hey, do you want to talk about this episode? Maybe for like a little special?
Yeah.
And also, apparently in June, she tweeted something about Glee and working with bad actors, which she went back and later deleted because the phrasing was confusing people. She meant bad actors as in people who took bad actions, not people who were unskilled in the profession of acting. But now I'm curious as to who the bad actors in like her frame of reference was on Glee.
Yeah.
She tweeted this in June of 2020. So
interesting.
She also says she was on the show for one season and only part-time.
Right.
The crew. This must have been around the time of the Leah thing. She said the crew was fantastic, but when the bullies are allowed to act that way, there's a culture that permits it. So she basically confirmed there were some shitty people working on Glee.
Yeah. As if that wasn't obvious, but I do appreciate the confirmation by someone like her.
Yeah.
Not that Buffy was perfect, you know what I mean? But like,
it wasn't, but it was a more cohesive show for sure.
Yep. Not that Joss Whedon had anything to do with that.
Yeah, no.
Our next mini episode is how much Joss Whedon sucks.
That'd be a good one, actually.
Oh, God.
Oh, I just found the page 6 article. Basically, I think her tweet said that male actors were as bad as Leah Michelle.
Ooh.
So there's a page 6 article about it.
All right, maybe we'll link that in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all for homework that probably should have been done before we started recording.
Well, that's fast and loose is how we roll.
Yeah.
Just like the script.
Keeps it organic, Like the music of the freelance whales. That's the reference I was making.
But so the episode. One I think storyline that they wanted to be more heartfelt was that exchange student Rory, who is only in the show to sing solos because I think that's what he was contractually obligated to do by winning the Glee project, sings Blue Christmas to his family because he is homesick. and this is his first Christmas without them. I just don't care at all. Yeah.
I just skipped it straight up.
Yeah.
There is the part right before he sings, the Klaine moment, where Rory's like, I want to dedicate this song to them and to the king. And Kurt says, Jesus.
Yes, Jesus.
And Blaine's like, no.
Yeah, that was cute. I appreciated that. I did think that it was in character for Sam to offer to take Rory home for the holidays, which sounds a little like a Lifetime original movie I watched. But like, that's their Christmas special, is like, oh, you don't have your family for Christmas, you can come home to mine. And then they get married at the end of the show. Probably at a coffee shop. So since Sam has experienced homelessness and is also living away from his family to go to this shithole of a school, it did make sense to me that he would be the one to hone in on Rory's feels.
Also, just like, and this is something I'm forming my opinion on as I do like this watch through. Sam's not a bad character.
No, he's not. I'm liking him a lot more this time.
Yeah. It's not like I didn't like him before. I just don't think I paid much attention to him before.
Agreed.
I like Sam. So yeah.
I think I definitely had Klaine goggles on.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
This time, and like, we're older. Not that much older, but it's, I think, older enough to be like, God, this kid, his poor family, and his dad loses his job, and he has to work as an exotic male dancer, and he's still going to school, and he's taking care of his siblings, and it's a hard knock life, and he's not complaining about it.
I also, just expanding on that specific topic a little bit, I think doing this podcast is helping me too, because even though we have said, like, we're going to have a little bit of, like, Klaine goggles going on, a lot of people listen to this that don't give a shit about Klaine. And so I kind of, like, am trying to focus on things that aren't Klaine so that we're not, like, driving people away that don't care about, you know.
I mean, it took me a while to understand that people weren't into Klaine. Yeah. It's like, it's a hard one for me. It's like when people say they don't like chocolate or coffee, I don't fully understand, but I do try to put myself in their little shipper shoes. Although I will not stand for any Blaine hate in this house. But that's another.
I don't know. I mean,
I can hate him enough on my own. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna pull any punches when we get to some episodes where Blaine just does shit that I think is out of character and I don't like. But
that's not Blaine. That's Blaine's twin brother.
Gotcha.
Blaine's twin brother. There's not a lot of male names that rhyme with Blaine. That joke didn't go anywhere.
All right. So we want to move on talking about the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Do we? Speaking of evil twins, I don't know. I saw in my notes when we were just talking about Roy, the behind the scenes where Chewbacca had came to the set.
Oh yeah.
With him is probably one of my most favorite, like, enduring things from this episode. It's just the whole fucking cast of nerds that were on this show that were so excited about meeting Chewbacca was really fucking endearing to me.
Yeah,
it is. It really is. It's a nice when you can see them actually enjoying something all together.
Yeah,
and it's fucking Chewbacca. Like, hell yeah.
In the episode, the show. Do we want to move on to talking about the show in a show, or are there other things?
We can. Yeah, I mean, because this is kind of when it comes in, is that Artie gets offered, or however it works, the PBS affiliate wants to do a special.
So Artie's concept for it, for his like television directorial debut, is a combination of the Star Wars Christmas special that like only aired once and is notoriously horrible, and something that is very dear to my heart, and I don't know if either of you know this, but I am mildly obsessed with Judy Garland, and I watch the Judy Garland Christmas special every Christmas. And by watch, I mean force my family to watch.
That is very cute.
So I really appreciated this homage. Thank you, Artie, even if you're kind of a dick in this episode.
He's a big dick, but it's a great Christmas special.
It is. And they also, I'm going to take a guess that neither of you have seen the Judy Garland Christmas special.
I have.
Oh, you have?
because
Okay.
my parents are old, and
Ah.
PBS and any of those, we had those Christmas specials on because I was never into the like Rudolph specials or the little claymation, like those creep me the fuck out.
Yeah.
So we watched like the old big band kind of Christmas specials.
Like,
If
it
if
kept it very true to the Judy Garland Christmas special, and I like
yeah,
that a lot.
Cute.
I did also like the callback that Artie was a director before,
Yeah.
and that he would have a vision because his vision for West Side Story was also a bit different. So that
Yeah.
was a nice tie-in to character traits of like his taking over of something and just going buck wild with it, and telling Rachel that her song once makes him want to kill himself.
Yeah. I mean, I actually love that song she did, but it's strictly related to Larry on Ally McBeal.
Yes.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, you are not Robert Downey Jr.
I know.
Leah
I
Michelle,
agree.
you walk away from that piano. That song belongs to one person, maybe two. Vonda Shepard can have partial custody.
No, really, it's just Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but it's just Robert Downey Jr.
And honestly, people listening, if you've never seen / heard Robert Downey Jr. do this song, recommended.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.
Mhm.
It's on like every Christmas playlist I have. Like I have
Mhm.
literally ripped the audio from a YouTube video to put it on there.
Nice. So yes, the special and Artie's vision, which is
Kurt Hummel and Blaine Anderson's chic swing chalet.
and a night of Noel Coward-esque banter, which I think is that he just wants to watch fic.
Yeah, he really does. He wanted some Klaine fic with side character cameos.
This also says to me that Marty Noxon, now that we know that she was definitely watching the show, is a Klaine shipper.
Oh my God, she's totally a Klainer.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got to talk to her.
Is this fan service? Is this what that is? It feels like it.
Is that what this feels like? Oh, Jesus.
We never got catered to. It's amazing.
The more I think about it, the more I appreciate everything Marty brought to this episode, because we have like Kevin McHale getting to actually act.
Yeah, a whole storyline.
Mercedes solo opening the episode. Yep. Rachel being
a shithead.
A shithead, yeah. I mean, I feel like she must have really wanted to showcase some people.
Yeah.
In specific ways that are very in tune with what I want.
She's highlighting Sam's big ol' heart. Ah, yeah. The Cheerios got a whole number.
Yep.
Oh yeah, super cute.
She gave a scene to Klaine and a song to Santana, even though they were both cut.
Oh, that's right.
Santana had a song? I didn't know that.
She sang Santa Baby.
Oh, it was on the CD though, right? I feel like I've heard this song. Yeah,
I think so.
I forgot that was never in the show.
The scene was just probably too sexy and they couldn't handle it.
Versus a depressing ass Rachel solo.
So it's the Glee Holiday Spectacular.
Oh, wait, before that, we have to talk about the travesty that is Extraordinary Merry Christmas.
It's a very, very, merry, merry Christmas. Gonna party until Santa grants my wishes. Got my halo on, I know what I want. It's who I'm with. It's an extraordinary merry Christmas.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna ignore it.
We can, except I can't, because the only good thing to come out of that song was there's a really cute Klaine moment that made me feel things, and I didn't expect it to. But the cynic in me says that Christmas episodes are just a holiday cash grab for Glee, because Christmas songs are where they actually get play on the radio the most. And they had to have an original song to get 100% of the royalties or whatever you get from songs on the radio. This is what my cynical brain says. And that is the most horrible song. It doesn't even sound good on the radio when you hear it at the shopping mall.
The shopping mall.
And I'm just, right, remember malls, guys?
I don't.
We went to them and we bought things. It's crazy. You had to go out in person, and anyways. But yeah, no, I truly despise that song with everything in me.
No, I also hate it. I don't like the the full pop of it because there's something about Christmas music that I feel like it requires a little bit of old timey feel to it.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how many new Christmas songs that I have heard that I want to listen to again.
It's the ones that feel old. You're right, the ones that feel classic, and, like, they don't really
Yeah,
have
it just
a certain
doesn't
time.
it doesn't feel like anything but an attempt to write a new Christmas song and something that I don't feel like anyone just really had a deep desire to write this song, but that they needed to. Yeah, but it is the cash grab. But yeah, I didn't. There's nothing in the lyrics of the song where I was like, man, someone just had some really big emotions about Christmas.
Yes, the lyrics of the chorus are, "It's a very, very merry, merry Christmas. Gonna party until Santa grants my wishes."
Does that doesn't do it for you?
And then it's like, "Got my halo on. I know what I want." I
Mhm.
It's just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
How
It's a
about
terrible
how
song.
many syllables it takes to say extraordinary?
Yeah,
Extraordinary Merry Christmas. I can't
it's awful.
because when she sings it, it has to be it's an extra. Like it breaks the word up, I think, into 19 stanzas, and I just hate it.
Yep,
Also,
but they had to
I don't like songs that begin with he came.
have "Into my bed last night." Isn't
Yeah,
that the first
it
"My
is.
dreams last night" or
My
something like
dreams.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, there's something I don't need that for
Why
Santa.
why is Santa in Blaine's dreams? It's a good question. Is
Hmm.
it sexy Kurt Santa? Where's the fic?
I don't think so because it says a great big man. So unless
Well,
Kurt's been
it
eating
say
some cookies,
how he was picked.
that's true. No,
Sorry. Oh god.
that's what this song means. That's why it's even better than the one before. I get it.
Okay, I like the song now. I
That
just
was
needed
a
a just needed a reframe.
I do like that in the trivia. This is the first and only original song to be featured in a Christmas episode. We're like, oh, we can't do this again. It's terrible.
Let's do a mini closer to Christmas where we rank the Christmas songs since we
Okay,
won't have get to do a
oh,
Christmas
that's
song at
yeah.
Christmas probably, the Christmas episode. Yeah, that'd be fun
okay,
because
we
they
can do
got some
that.
truly good ones and some truly terrible ones.
Some really tragic. Yeah, they're bad. I mean, it's really just going to be like every Klaine Christmas song, and then
And then everything else,
the
exactly.
rest.
Little drummer boy, and then everything else.
Well, I guess if we're going to talk Klaine Christmas songs, the Glee Holiday Spectacular does kick off with "Let It Snow." Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in the storm. But if you finally hold me tight, then all the way home I'll be warm. And my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, let it snow.
That is one of my favorite Klaine Christmas songs. Oh, it's so fun with like the big band feel.
Yep.
And they dance. They have little suits on.
So I was realizing watching this that we never, not never, never is a strong word. We hardly ever see them dance together.
True.
They
Yeah.
dance choreography next to each other. Occasionally, they'll like swing each other around the choir room, barely touching hands because gay. But like, you really don't see them until so there's prom and then
Right.
the wedding episode of like two people in love just dancing, just having a dance. And like, it was so nice just to see them doing that little tap thing and spinning
Yes.
around, and it's fucking adorable.
I also remember in one of the, I don't know, extras of some sort, Chris talking about how he wasn't really used to doing runs and Darren had to like teach him how.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Do you know how much money they could have made selling those behind the scenes clips? Like, do you know how much money I would have paid to see Darren Chris teaching Chris Culver how to do a run?
And then
I would
sing that song.
If only Instagram stories had been a thing back then, I feel like they would have tried to monetize that a little bit more.
Yeah, I still would pay a lot of money. Now I'm mad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's his best friend and holiday roommate.
And this is my best friend and holiday roommate, Blaine Anderson.
Yeah.
Remember holiday roommates being, you know, a thing. So, yes, the Let It Snow is perfect and adorable, and Chris's, like, 1950s over-the-top accent is a lot of fun. My word!
My favorite part, Christmas is canceled.
Christmas. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then what? Mercedes and Rachel show up, and they give Blaine candy striped capri pants and a
that
bow
he
tie.
doesn't already own.
It's a miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Bow tie. I think it's so over the top and adorable, like for all of it. I mean, that's a moment where they actually seem like teenagers, like overacting. I mean, Leo's laying it on a little thick, but the rest of them, it's like slightly bad acting vibes that fits the age they're supposed to be.
Yep.
Yes. I love that.
And especially if you're trying to get that Judy Garland vibe.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that they sing Favorite Things because I love that that's like a Christmas song now. From, you know, from what's that? The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Christmas song. I love that because it's a great song. But I thought it was really sweet. The four of them, I don't think ever sing together again. So
I can't think of a time.
Great.
That doesn't mean they don't. It just means I couldn't think of a time. And they didn't have to fuck with the cadence of it to get it around. Finn and Puck do show up as untrademarked sci-fi fantasy characters.
That's copyright infringement.
Because that would be copyright infringement.
That would be copyright infringement. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't also sing a song when they walked in. Oh, no, they do. They do Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I forgot. That's because I clicked through that one. I'm sorry.
I did too. But the only great part of it is that Blaine plays harmonica at the end. So I guess that's canon. It's canon now that Blaine plays harmonica very well.
Yes. That's the kind of shit I loved in fic at the time, was these little tiny moments that suddenly he has candy striped capri pants and can play the harmonica.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you just gave us a crumb of canon that we like. It's going to be everywhere. That is fact now.
I will take that crumb.
Yeah, they're just like, it's cool.
Yeah. And then the Cheerios come in, and I love this number because Brittany gets a whole ass solo.
She does. I never know what the song is about, but I know it's called Christmas Wrapping because the wiki told me.
Okay, but like even that is perfect, and I'm going to be like a little bit of a geek here because that's exactly what happens in the Judy Garland Christmas special in the like random middle of the scene. And Judy's got these like, you know, big band type people coming on and singing. Liza Minnelli shows up and does a total like number out of a completely different genre with dancers that you have no idea what it means and doesn't fit the scene at all, and then she leaves.
That does work for Brittany too.
Yeah. And it was again part of that like homage that I was like, oh, like somebody really actually wanted to make this work because it doesn't make sense in context and it doesn't make sense out of context, but it's a little more fun if you actually know what it's mimicking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess at least Brittany got that it was a Christmas song.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is that to be said for her.
I just think it's so fun. They like show up in their little Santa outfits. Tina's there. Mike is there. Santana's there. All the Cheerios. They do a little ribbon dance.
Little dance. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This show is so good when it's good. You know?
When it's not trying too hard at the
Yeah.
things we don't care about.
Yeah. Like, it really, there's a plot happening in this show, and it's the very general Christmas versus consumerism, as if Christmas isn't a Hallmark holiday. Like, nobody's celebrating the birth of Christ, right? Like, that's not, and it didn't have, whatever. I'm not going to get into the biblical portion of this, but Christmas has never been anything but a candy, card, and present holiday in the United States.
Yeah.
So that part, whatever, it's fine. But they were at least trying to have a through line of consumerism versus helping others. And it actually started at the beginning of the episode with Sue inviting them to sing at the homeless shelter. There's the crisis of now they have a this Christmas special that they really, really want to do, and then having to come to terms with what it means when part of their group chooses the other thing. Although I think it's really, is it Rory, Sam, and Quinn, right, who go to the Christmas shelter instead?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes a ton of sense for Quinn to go to a homeless shelter. It felt like they sort of pigeonholed in her saying that she's getting over her shit and learning to be grateful for what she has and not worrying about what she doesn't have. But I also can't really see her doing the Christmas special.
And I think that was it. Like, I think she was probably just the character that didn't have an immediate lean towards one or the other. So they were like, great, we'll throw her here.
We'll throw her here. She had that thing with Sam.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I mean, this is an example of, like, no one knowing what to do with Quinn after the writers, you know, as a collective, cough, Ryan Murphy, just failed to have any consistency with her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also like she's not in the Cheerios right now, so maybe she just felt unwelcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Or decided that she was gonna try to be her best self.
Right. And we respect that.
We do. Also, what song would Quinn have sung? Like, if she had gotten, what Christmas song would have been her pick, do we think?
Like, of the ones already in the...
No, like, if they gave her her own Christmas song of our, like, rocking around the Christmas tree, or, I don't know. It's
Mary,
beginning.
did you know?
Maybe. Yeah.
That's a good one.
How about the
never did that
NSYNC one, the Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays?
Yeah.
That would have been fun. I mean, maybe like I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa. I don't know.
Maybe she and Sam could have done like Run Run Reindeer.
That would have been cute. Poor Quinn.
Yeah.
Always getting stuck somewhere for no reason.
She made the best of it.
And then she is quickly overshadowed by the fact that the whole Glee Club does show up to the shelter.
Yes. So Rory shows up during the Christmas special as I don't know.
Elf.
Oh yeah.
Itchy the Christmas elf. Yeah.
Yes,
Itchy.
Itchy the Christmas elf, to deliver unto the Glee Club the true rightful meaning of Christmas, which, whatever, but it gets them to realize that perhaps they made the wrong decision. Although, in their defense, they are teenagers trying to get into competitive entertainment academies or to pursue careers in song and dance, and maybe having a PBS Christmas special on your resume in this instance is better.
Also, if Sue really needed help at the homeless shelter, why didn't she just have her Cheerios or the football team or the hockey team or like
The lacrosse team. I think they have a
there's a
lacrosse team too,
whole
right?
other school full of people.
Yeah.
But she wanted them to sing. That's truly
Well,
the only
apparently, I mean, the drama club and the footballers all were
yeah.
in Glee at one point. So
I mean, the cheerleaders were in the treble tones, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really
Yeah.
hold up. But they do show up and they sing, what's the name of that song? Happy Christmas, War is Over?
No, is that what they sang, or was it?
Do they know it's Christmas time?
Do they know
yeah,
it's Christmas? It's the
When do they
worst
sing
song.
they do sing I thought they sang "War is over."
I think that might be in a different episode.
Wow.
Because this one, it's "Do They Know It's Christmas?" And I remember that only in part
never
because
mind.
one,
You're
it's a
right.
terrible song, and two, it's also such a tone deaf song to sing at a fucking homeless shelter. Like, it was bad enough. It
Yeah.
really
no,
was
you're
bad
right.
enough at Live Aid or Band Aid or whatever the fuck that was called to be like, we're a bunch of rich ass singers who have every comfort in the world, and we want to know if you poor African nations who have nothing, do you know it's Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, I hate that song so
It's
much.
shitty. And
Like, even
also
if
they
it sounds good, it sucks.
they say it was going to be their last song for the Christmas special. It's like, how did that fit in with the rest of the songs that they had picked for the special?
I don't know. I don't
Doesn't
know.
make any sense.
Yeah,
It's
who
like
would they
completely
have
different
sung?
feel.
Maybe they would sing it to the Cheerios?
Oh, maybe it's because Itchy was supposed to tell the Frosty story, and Frosty melts in the African sun.
We're putting the thought into this that the Glee
Oh
Writers
boy.
did
the
not.
writers didn't
Exactly.
put out.
Never did. Exactly.
There are so many other songs they could have sung.
I do like ignoring the song content. I did like that they matched a lot of voices to do harmonies that don't usually sing together, which I thought was really cool. Um,
Explain.
the only one I can think of is that Tina sings with Puck, and fuck that. But like Quinn sings with Finn or something, and like Rachel sings with Sam, or like I don't remember, but they kind of like mismatch
Yeah.
the usual people that sing together. I know Santana sings with Artie, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they did a lot of like cool harmonies that you don't normally hear those voices together. So I thought that was a cool idea for like a group number. There's also like half a second of Klaine, which will always play.
Well, you know that the best part of that is they've switched scarves.
They have switched scarves. Super cute.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else listening to the podcast needs to hear that, but
They switched scarves.
They switched scarves. Just in case that was a thing that you needed to know about.
And the kids are cute. Like, I mean, they're just props. Let's be real in the number, but
Right.
at the end of the day. But I did get some warm fuzzies for a bit, which I guess was the point. So.
Yep. I mean, I still don't think that all the food they brought would actually feed a homeless shelter because, like, there's not that much on Turkey, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Luckily, they already had some food there, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's such a social commentary, but Sue points out that there's too many people and they're not going to have enough food to feed everyone at the homeless shelter. Like, well, that seems to be like a endemic systemic problem in Lima, Ohio, doesn't it? That you have so many homeless people. Maybe you should work on some social programs there and not just bringing a Christmas meal.
If only that had been her platform to run for
right?
senator. Maybe
Yes.
she would have.
Perhaps, potentially. So at the end of the episode, they have learned their lessons about kindness, humanity.
It's the thought that counts over the material
Yes.
thing. Rachel does embrace Barbara the sow pig.
She does.
Puts her up in her locker.
Yes, she did. Even though Finn got her another gift that they return to donate money.
It was a little bit. It's not really gift to the Magi, but it made me think of it a little bit because he like does buy her the stupid earrings in the end. Like she's like, "Don't worry, I learned to love this sow pig," and he's like, but I still bought you the earrings."
I still bought you the earrings.
Okay, but you're right. They do return them, and they go give the money to.
Well, they give the money to the fake Salvation Army, which I don't care for.
Which is not homophobic in my head.
I guess the Glee version of the Salvation Army isn't.
We would hope.
But in case people listening don't know, don't donate money to the Salvation Army and don't let your parents donate money to the Salvation Army. There are better charities that aren't homophobic.
That's right.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
I always feel like I need to explain myself when I see a bell ringer. I'm like, it's not because I'm not generous. Fuck the Salvation Army.
Yeah. It's not you personally, and it's not me. It's that your company sucks.
It's them. It's them. Yeah.
It goes all the way to the top. Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. So the other big thing that's going on in Extraordinary Merry Christmas is the deleted box scene. And if you were not around in the Glee fandom during this, you missed one of, I think, the quintessential fandom movements that we experienced as a collective fandom. So what happened, and someone jump in and correct me if I'm missing some things, it has been 10 years, 9 years, however long it's been. Before the episode aired, production stills went out, which was pretty common. Before each episode aired, there'd be some production stills from the network to kind of tease what was going on in the episode and to get people excited. But one of those stills was a scene of Kurt and Blaine in the McKinley High hallway holding a box with a ribbon or like a little bow on it. And then the Klaine fandom especially was like, holy shit, what's going to happen? And then the episode aired and there was no scene from that production still. And deleted scenes are not uncommon in movies, TV shows, etc. But Klaine historically has gotten the short end of the romantic overture department. Finn and Rachel get to kiss and hug and give each other gifts and be romantic. Even Brittany and Santana get more moments depending on where you are in the seasons. And Mike and Tina are just consistent. But there have been moments where Kurt and Blaine do not seem to act like the couple that they are. And this was one of those scenes. So it started going out that a scene was cut and there were some sources. I want to say one was Gleek Out Brazil, but honestly, I don't remember that part anymore. That it was, the cut scene was Blaine giving Kurt a promise ring made of gum wrappers. Adorable.
Very cute.
Adorable and super cute. So the cry went out for this episode to get released. And in order, what was the order of operations? So the box scene project was put together by two fans who have deleted the box scene project account. So I don't know if we want to name them.
Nah.
So let's not, just because they've chosen to delete the Tumblr, and I don't want to bring that back around for any reason. So there were two Tumblr people who took charge when the script for this episode went up on auction, benefiting a charity whose name I no longer remember. So
the Young Actors.
No, that came later. The Young Actors came later. Because they did another round to get
AIDS charity. I'm sorry, it was an AIDS charity.
Oh,
Los
okay,
Angeles, something.
Yeah, because the Young Actors thing was another round of scripts. So they raised quite a lot of money to win this script, which includes the dialogue and the script directions, and it includes the pages for that scene. We will post a link to that, so if you haven't read the pages, you can, because they are still available. And it is fucking adorable. It's just a scene of Blaine giving Kurt a heartfelt handmade Christmas present. Kurt immediately thinks that they're getting engaged, which is very Kurt. It's like
it's very Kurt and also horribly foreshadowing.
Yes. Horribly foreshadowing. Yes. We don't want to talk about it. But
so right. Yeah. Oh God. But Blaine like legit gives vows basically when he does
to always love you, to defend you even if I know you're wrong, to surprise you, to always pick up your phone call no matter what I'm doing, to bake you cookies at least twice a year, and to kiss you wherever and whenever you want. But mostly just to make sure that you remember how perfectly imperfect you are.
Like I mean, it's a TV show, but he said more than I said when I proposed to my fiance. Honestly, like, it is a speech, capital S speech.
It really is. It's a whole speech about promising to love, defend, surprise, bake you cookies. Like,
Every
it's
phone call, like,
it
come on.
is everything that a fic writer would put in, yet we got it from, I'm guessing, Marty Noxon.
Thanks, Marty.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
really.
Marty. So this was a big fucking deal, and this went on for months, right? Since between the time that the stills came out, the episode came out, there was no scene. There was calls for this to be released. Of course, RIB are like, fuck you guys, we don't care. And then this auction came up with the script. I sometimes think that Murphy and co were like, hey, let's see how much money we can get to give them this scene. But like, fine, let's raise some money for charity. It's great.
Then we go a step further.
We went a step further where I had the tweet. Again, I don't need to, well, no, I'm going to name the person because this account, D. Chris French Fans, tweeted at Murphy asking if it was possible to have the Klaine box scene put on YouTube, since at the time they weren't going to put it on the season 3 DVDs. And Murphy's response was, if you Gleeks can get me to 500,000 followers, I will release the box scene exclusively on my Twitter. The baiting.
Made fake accounts for days. Just
yeah. What kind of follow for follow is this from an award-winning producer who's like, well, if you guys can get me more followers, I'll give you a thing that I should have given you in the first place.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid. And what did the Klaine fandom did? They said, fine.
Like, we said fine.
To do, fine. We'll fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. And they did.
And we did.
And it was released. It was color corrected, which is great. So that means that it didn't get edited and out until pretty far down the line.
The quality is like trash, but you know.
Yeah, it's HD. It's end of production. Like, this didn't get cut probably for time. Until the very end, it looks like. So
because we needed the essential scenes and a Rachel solo really badly.
We needed all of Rachel's present mongering instead of this
multiple scenes where Rachel just complains about her presence.
Yep,
that's right. Instead of this beautiful, heartfelt, genuine.
Yeah. So it's, if you haven't seen it, we're gonna post the link because you should watch it. They're standing in the hallway talking to each other like they are in a private bedroom somewhere. The eye contact is on point. The dialogue is a little ridiculous, but like amazing. Chris/Kurt seems genuinely into the scene, which doesn't always happen. And they're wearing things that became... there's something about this scene where these items, like, people were posting where you could find Blaine's leather book bag. And like his fucking Brooks Brother sweater and his bow tie, like a lot of this stuff, and I think because people had to work so hard to get it, became very ingrained for a while into fandom and fic and talk about the show.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. Like, it felt like a big deal.
Oh, it was huge. Fucking huge.
Yeah. It was really, like you said, like the first like moment of organized Klaine fandom uprising of like, fuck you. Like, we caught you in the act this time of doing something shitty. Like, we always felt like Klaine was slighted for some reason, but we never had any proof. Like, other ship fandoms would just be like, oh, you guys are just complaining too much, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, we caught you in the act. We caught you in the act, and you're going to do something about it. We're going to make you do something about it. We're going to publicize it, and you can't say no.
Yeah.
And it fucking worked.
It did.
Amazing.
It worked. There's a BuzzFeed article, but I don't want to link it, so I won't. But the numbers are, they needed $3,000 to win the script at the time in the auction, and ended up donating, I think, $13,000 to Project Angel Food, which was hosting the auction. And if that is not some oof, that is fandom rising to the occasion, which I think, Mandy, your current fandom knows a bit about that.
Yeah, we do the charity, which, yeah, we do like charity fundraisers for their birthdays.
Yeah, there's something about using the power and the collective action of a fandom to actually do something important that I think gets overlooked when people discuss the ups and downs of fandom.
Well, there have always been birthday fundraisers for Chris and Darren that still
Yeah.
are, that still to this day
Still
are
goes.
done. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is great. And
Yeah,
this
with
was
the
like,
ones for Dan and Phil's fandom, I think I wanted to make sure that it felt really like a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do for them is a marathon of their videos that's the number of hours that they're turning.
Oh, that's just
And
going
I
to get
think-
harder and harder.
Oh yes. I make the playlists. I hate myself sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there have always definitely been birthday fundraisers, but I think the fact that Glee fandom kind of showed me that, I don't know, it can be fun when everyone's making it an event.
Mm-hmm.
More so than just like, donate so we get our head pats.
Right. Yep.
Which I think a lot of Chris and Darren's were. It was literally just like, we want to make Chris happy. And like there's nothing wrong with that, like making the actor feel like the fandom appreciates them, but also like, I don't know, it's fun to do it for your own reasons too.
It is, for sure. And
boxing felt like that. Like it was for us. Like it was for charity too, but it was for us.
Yes. And the organizers, the other charity they raised money for was the Young Storytellers Foundation. And that got the PDF of the first time sent around. Which again, that was for us.
Oh yes.
I think they raised about $40,000 for the Young Storytellers Foundation, where there was a duet of Kurt and Blaine doing a mashup of "You Spin Me Round" and "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me,"
which would have been at Scandal, would it not? Had to.
I think so. Yeah. I think I used to
it.
have copies of these, and I might still somewhere, because the other thing that they did was they had fic writers put paper copies of their books available. So if someone donated, you could get a paper copy of fic.
Yeah, there was a whole auction. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I don't think I had the money at the time to actually bid on much, but it was
I did not.
Really cool.
Yeah. So that's a bit of fandom that's the good side.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think that really happened. Like that, I can't think of another fandom who's done such a crazy thing.
Not like, again, solely for their own means. Like, hey, we want this thing. We're gonna like brainstorm and find a way to fucking get the thing.
Like to rail against the creators of a show so hard that you shame them into giving you what you want. Like,
and I don't doubt it was shame. Like like the fundraiser got media attention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To the extent that Ryan he still found a way to make it about him with that followers thing, but
always, but he had to do it.
Still.
He couldn't just be like, "Oh, I really appreciate the work you guys are doing to raise money for charity. Here's the scene."
No mention of that.
No, it's give me followers.
I wonder if he still has some of those followers that are those fake accounts that people made to get him to 50,000.
Don't tell him that they're not real accounts. He thinks they're real people.
He deleted his Twitter, right? So really, all of it was for nothing.
Right? It was all for nothing.
I feel like he's done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I mean, at least we knew how to screen cap everything, so nothing's really missing. I wonder, he's deleted and redone before. Let's see where he's at right now.
Yeah.
There are currently no tweets.
Yep, he deleted them all. I remember that.
But I think he's on Instagram. Maybe? I don't know. I don't care that much about him.
I wish I could search his followers. I would. See if anybody.
This is an egg, and this is an egg.
Eggs, man. Yeah.
Old school Twitter. So that, I feel like we couldn't really talk about Extraordinary Merry Christmas without talking about the box scene.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the box scene project. Like we named a whole thing. Like it's not what it was called. It is now though.
It is now.
It is now.
It's such an interesting piece of Glee that you wouldn't know if you were watching it nowadays. Like if you were just watching it on I love that we're like bringing this angle to the Glee podcast, have always, but that we have this the Glee podcast world of hey, we lived through this shit. Let's tell you what it was like living through this. And sometimes you would never know about the box scene otherwise. So
yeah, at this point you'd have to go looking for it. It's not like there's remnants of it when you turn on Netflix. It doesn't say like, hey, besides you're missing this episode. You're missing the scene. Yeah. Cool. So if we include the box scene, then this episode is gold.
Yeah. Slam dunk.
Also, I'm angry that Santana's Santa Baby got cut now. Because I think at some point I did know that, but
they have the pages up for that too. It was set in like a jewelry shop.
Is she helping like Rachel shop?
I forget. I'd have to actually read the scene at this point. It's been a while.
It's funny.
Any final thoughts? Do you have a favorite song that I don't already can guess?
Honestly, All I Want for Christmas Is You and Let It Snow.
Yep.
I'm gonna say my favorite song is Robert Downey Jr. doing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The Blaine duet obviously has my heart.
So our Kevin McScale was pretty high. He didn't sing, but he did get a whole storyline and scenes, and he kind of was the creative force behind the Klaine fanfic on screen.
So like a 4 out of 5?
Yeah. I mean, if he'd gotten a song, it would have been gold.
Yeah, it would have been a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Go Kevin.
And then, go Kevin. And then our Klainedex.
Oh man.
They didn't kiss, and there was very little physical contact, but they did do Let It Snow, and they apparently live in a Swiss chalet.
And it's so many...
Are we incorporating the box scene into?
I think you have to. I think for context, we have to.
I'm gonna say 8.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah,
with the box scene, it's an 8.
With the box scene, it's an 8. They really should have made out though. Maybe an 8. Do we have them like an 8.5?
Yeah, we can do an 8.5. Yeah.
Okay. This is not for you, Ryan Murphy. This is for Marty Knoxon.
So we'll say 8.5. Yes. For Marty.
I mean, with a kiss, it would have bumped it up to like solid 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, remember, this is peak Klaine. We can't forget. Like, it does not get much better than this. So
it doesn't. I think we need to see if we can get Marty to talk about this.
That'd be great.
Just like,
oh my God,
15 minutes.
All right, everyone, let's tweet Marty.
It's Marty on Cameo.
Oh my God.
Pay her to come talk to us. Amazing.
I love it. I'm going to give the Coulda Shoulda Woulda scale a full 100 for the box.
Full 100. I wrote that down. Full 100.
Yep.
Ball completely dropped.
Yep. It's not even that they didn't do it. It's that it existed, and then they got rid of it.
Yeah. Who?
And then tried to hide it.
I need to know who's responsible. And we would have never known. Exactly. We'd have never known if they hadn't like
for one production still.
Yeah.
I bet there was a Klainer at the network who was like, get that out. No, we've okayed put that one out there. Get that one out there. Is it? Yeah, put it out there.
Yeah, put it out. See what happens. Oop, my bad.
Oh no, it went past editorial. Oops.
See, did the scene get cut between the release of the stills and the viewing? Because that's even crazier.
I don't know, actually. I don't know what their editing schedule was like. It might have been. Fuck, who knows?
Who knows?
It's wild.
There were a lot of good lines, like one-liners in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was, Sue says, I made plans to shoot reindeer from a helicopter with Sarah Palin, but had to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but my all-time favorite, because this is just who I am as a person, is like when Kurt's like,
global climate change is no laughing matter.
And Mercedes is like,
I think these are the end times.
Yeah, it's so good. Still relevant, more relevant than ever. Wow.
It's funny how that is perfectly timely, and yet the shooting reindeer from a helicopter with Sarah Palin is so precise to that moment.
Yep.
It's like that reference doesn't make sense to anybody outside of that time frame, and yet the global warming does.
Yep.
It's wild. Fucking
Glee was like that now. That's kind of like Glee's thing right there. Is like, here's some too topical, too niche jokes, and also here's some really good resonating
Yep.
classics. Wow.
I just have to go with
Stumbles, Gelfing, young Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
I saw that scene coming. I was like, oh shit, that's right, Gelfling. Mandy, do you have a?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I didn't write down any specific ones. I need to take better notes.
I think hers is just the refrain of "It's an extraordinary Merry Christmas."
Yeah. I feel like mine is just the entirety of the fact that they did the Judy Garland Christmas special.
That's legit.
Thing.
Christmas is canceled.
Christmas is canceled. If only they'd been as high as Judy Garland.
Yeah,
I know.
Rest in peace. So that is the second Christmas episode, right? This is our second Christmas episode.
Did they not have one in the? Did they not have one in the first season?
I honestly don't remember. Regardless, this was a Christmas episode. It was crazy and lovely. We would like to profusely thank Marty Noxon for delivering this unto us. I think we should tweet her at least mildly. Isn't that what Twitter's for?
We should tweet her. Absolutely. You are correct. There was no Christmas episode in season 1.
Thank you. I am always mostly correct.
They messed up the timing somehow, yeah, when they aired.
Okay.
Okay, great. So
thank you for listening. If you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, it's gleeontherocks.at/patreon.com. It's not an email address. Check us out on Instagram. And thank you for listening. Our next episode is, what's it called? Yes, No. Which I think is a Sam Sadie's episode.
Ooh. Our Sam Sadie's fans have been waiting.
For those Sam Sadie's fans out there. Great. So everyone go register to vote. Check out what your mail-in voting options are. Get registered, get your ballot, fill it out, send it in, and wash your hands. And I think that's what you missed on Glee.